Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today in the private group I'm going to talk about one of my favorite XRP theories. I'll call it the XRP test drive theory. You'll find this one very interesting. And before I get going, I want to show you, I just got back from Whitefish, Montana. If you've never been there, I would call it the Jackson Hole of Montana. It is nice. It's right beside Glacier National Park. And here's a little video I put together to entertain you. Check it out. This is called Going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park. And what I'm about to show you here, he said the tour guide stopped the vehicle and he said, look up way up there. He said, you might see these little cars moving. He says, that's where we're headed. We went way up here. Watch this.
Road. Now I'm looking at it, I'm getting a little queasy.
Yes, I'm scared of heights, and we are in the top of the mountains. This is Going to the Sun Road. I did not want to get out of the car. We're at Logan Pass. That's up at the park once you get to the top. We're at the Sun Road. I read a story, by the way, of a girl that drove up here drunk in a Ford Explorer with 3 friends and literally went airborne off of the side, and the car rolled for like 150 feet. She died, 3 survived. The other 3 got thrown out of the vehicle and survived somehow without seatbelts.
Yeah, bad goats have 2 sets of winter coats, if you will. That one. From us on our left, and then there's some snow up there right above Bird Woman Falls, beautiful waterfall over 500 feet tall. The other side of that waterfall is limits.
I can't even imagine riding a motorcycle up there, much less a car, much less a motorcycle. This is on the ski slopes in Whitefish, Montana. That's Whitefish Lake right there, which I went out on. It was very cold. Whitefish, Montana, and I am scared of heights. Facing my fears. When you're going down that chairlift, when you get to the very top, the wind kicks up. I can't even imagine what a storm would be like up there. And of course, I was wearing my XRP summer hat. There's one of the creeks. This creek right here, I read also that several people have fallen in this creek. And what happens is it's so cold that your limbs immediately stiffen up, and then that current catches you. And the next thing you know, you're swooped down into one of the lakes, and many people are never found. Pretty wild. I want to remind everybody, while we're in these lulls in price action, that's the time to make sure that you get yourself positioned, in my opinion, with institutional custody. I have it in 2 places. Caleb and Brown is one of them. You can go to xrpwealth589.com and it'll forward you to open an account page on Caleb and Brown's website on my page here. You get the free institutional custody through Fireblocks. You also get a person you can actually speak with. You get a broker. You can email and call. And then you also get institutional grade liquidity so that when you're ready to get out, you can get out. We're at 315 right now. The market's kind of flat. It's dying to go over that 4 trillion mark. Now, little reminder, remember when Trump tweeted this about creating a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, Sol, Cardano. Well, the executive order that he did said that within 180 days of this date, the working group has to submit a report that shall process federal. The working group shall propose federal regulatory framework governing the issuance and operation of digital assets, including stablecoins in the U.S. Shall evaluate potential creation and maintenance of a national digital asset stockpile and propose criteria for establishing such a stockpile. And then here's Bo Hines saying the President's Working Group on Digital Assets has completed the 180-day report, will be released publicly on July 30th. That is 2 days from today. America is now leading the way in digital asset policy. July 30th should be interesting. Metal Lawman says 1 week ago, Trump media bought 2 billion Bitcoin. This week, President Trump's expected to make a big announcement on crypto policy. Do you think that announcement will be good for Bitcoin? Will Trump take Nancy Pelosi's crown as the #1 investor among elected officials? Yes, he will, and he'll do it legally. And then we've got the Federal Reserve in the next couple of days. We're going to find out if they're going to lower interest rates.
To cut rates this
I think he has to. You had 11 cuts, you know. In Europe, they had 11 cuts. In other places, they had 10 or 11 cuts. And we had none, but I'm not going to say anything bad. You know, we're doing so well, even without the rate cut. With the rate cut, it would be better. It affects our housing a little bit. We should be 3 points lower. Each point is $360 billion. Can you imagine that? That's big numbers. Each point, 1 point of cut, is the equivalent of $360 billion in savings. That's big stuff, you know. Those are big numbers in the U.S. Everything's big. He should cut. A smart person would cut. You know, he leaves very soon, so it's like one of those things. But I'll miss him greatly. I'll miss him.
You gotta love that guy. Look at this, President Trump. This is Howard Lutnick, Commerce Secretary. President Trump just unlocked one of the largest economies in the world. European Union is going to open $20 trillion market. Completely accepted our auto and industrial standards for the first time ever. In addition, it will purchase $750 billion in energy from us, invest $600 billion in America. Our tariff will be set at 15% across the board. Today is a historic day for the U.S. trade and will strengthen our relationship with the European Union for decades to come. Then we had ex-military intelligence Anthony Pompliano going on and on and on and on and on and on about Bitcoin when he knows all about XRP but has pretended to act like he doesn't understand it for the last 5 years. In 2017, he completely understood. You've seen the tweet.
Check out Bitcoin in the crypto markets right now.
The
Joining us,
psyop
Anthony
continues.
Pompliano, founder and CEO of Professional Capital Management. Each week, there's more data points that seem to indicate just increasing adoption of not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum suddenly has gotten a lot of attention as well. Is it made up some of the underperformance in recent months at this point?
Well, look, I think that Bitcoin has established itself as the king of the market. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. And I actually think most of Wall Street's time and attention is on Bitcoin. There are other assets that from time to time start
I don't think that's Wall Street's focus at all. I think that's what they're telling you their focus is.
to get some capital flow.
And I think he knows it.
But if you look, things like Ethereum, Solana, et cetera, they still haven't set in new all-time highs this summer. And so I think that Bitcoin has kind of broken away.
And XRP's been higher than all of them. He knows that too.
Doesn't mean that some of these other assets maybe in the future can't do that, but Bitcoin definitely continues to dominate the market, both in terms of actual dominance of
market. These people lie almost as if it's their job.
Market cap, but also I think just capital flows and time and attention.
We've been having a lot of people on to talk about stable coins.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about stablecoins is they don't go
Yeah, and you can't build stable coins on Bitcoin.
anywhere other than stay at $1. So, they can grow in market cap size in terms
Yeah,
of
don't mention the liquidity that comes in with all these others that you can build stable coins on, Anthony.
how many people are using them.
You know that too.
But I don't think people really use stablecoins as a comparison to Bitcoin or altcoins where they're looking to try to drive some sort of financial performance.
What type of I hesitate to call it derivatives, but there's a lot of different Bitcoin-based products coming out this point? What do you think has staying power?
Yeah, well, if you really just look at what's happened over the last 5 to 7 years,
Maybe products to try to dress up a pig.
is Bitcoin essentially went from a contrarian trade to a consensus trade. Everyone now, for the most part, is convinced that this thing is going to be around for a long time. And now what you see is Wall Street, who really was kind of ignoring it or trying to stiff arm Bitcoin, has now said, wait a second.
No, wrong. Every single regulatory agency embraced Bitcoin from the beginning and intentionally gave it a fake regulatory clarity by itself for the last decade. That goes away after regulation.
Let's open up the doors and let's embrace
That advantage that they gave it goes away. You haven't seen a real market yet.
this thing, because
And he knows that too.
they figured out how to make money. And so you're seeing Bitcoin put into the Wall Street wrappers. First, you saw it with the ETFs. Now you're seeing it with public companies. You also have heard people announce things like Bitcoin and real estate funds. I think you're going to continue to see Wall Street take Bitcoin and put it in every single corner of the traditional financial system, because ultimately Bitcoin brings volatility. Bitcoin brings financial return in a way that they're not used to seeing. And so I think that Bitcoin is something that is going to bring more customers, more assets, and more profits for these Wall Street institutions. And that's their job, is to go figure out how to grow their business, and Bitcoin can help them do that.
I mean, how many strategy, and it used to be MicroStrategy, how many?
That's enough of that, Pap. Then we have this. PayPal came out with this. Tired of paying high transaction fees for international payments. Wired reducing costs up to 90% by offering pay with crypto payments. Reduce international transaction fees. We're making all of this and more easily accessible, available through PayPal Crypto, a new payment method that allows merchants to reach more than 650 million crypto users. Well, I decided to go and read their press release, and as you go down right here, Pay with Crypto, powered by PayPal, will be available to U.S. merchants in the coming weeks, covering 90% of the $3+ trillion crypto market cap. Pay with Crypto offers the ability to pay with 100 cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, XRP. I had so many people being jerks dropping underneath this. Here's one of them. Because as of right now, there's nothing to support this. PayPal has not come out with this statement yet. If this is not true, stop spreading fake news. And then I dropped the link. I said, I'm assuming reading is not your strong suit. Actually, that's all I do. I dig deep. That requires a lot of reading. As I mentioned earlier, I was unable to open the site. Well, then why'd you make the smart comment before being able to read it? This is the story of X. This is how people operate. They say nasty things when they don't have all the facts. I'm used to it. This is a nice day for a reminder about PayPal Galactic.
Is opening up to...
Remember, PayPal Galactic was announced in 2013, then they never brought it up again.
all of us in the next decade or so. And we want to make sure that PayPal is the preferred way to pay from space and in space.
This is going to be big, and now is the time to get into this. If you wait several years, it's going to be obvious to everybody.
I think that if we, in fact, are successful at finding ways to work and play in space, we're going to want to be there too, you and me. And inevitably, it's going to need some kind of monetary currency.
PayPal Galactic will tackle the challenges posed by interstellar commerce,
Jed McCaleb, Interstellar.
such as keeping customers connected to their accounts when they're miles away from the planet.
PayPal is the favorite way to pay on Earth. And we want to make sure that it is the favorite way to pay in space.
And here's the Ripple commercial that they ran a while back.
I got it. I got it.
Yep, we've come a long way. Okay, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com, the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click the join button right below this video. If you'd rather go through X, hit the subscribe button. We do full video and extended video, plus no commercials. I'm the digital asset, and we're going to talk in there, by the way, about the XRP test drive theory. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.